Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. It is a very nasty day outside today. It is wet and cloudy and cold, and so it is the perfect day to be in the greenhouse talking about plants and thinking and dreaming of warmer days and beautiful flowers. So what we're going to do today is, here in just a second, we have yet another delivery of a gorgeous Proven Winter annuals arriving just like I said momentarily. I believe it's Lenny is once again bringing us 20,000 annuals this time. We got 25,000 annuals planted 10 days ago. So now we have 20 come in this week. So we're going to see Lenny and see those plants that are coming. We're going to look and to see what plants that we did go ahead and pot up last week. And then we have got a gorgeous selection, a whole slew of perennials that are waiting to be potted up in the other greenhouse. So we're going to take a look at that because we haven't even talked about any of those. It is a very busy time here at Creekside Nursery. We are a grower retailer. So what that means is that all these little babies that you see in this greenhouse, we are growing. The ones that you're looking at right now in this bay are annuals only. So annuals are for one season. They give us lots of flower power. These are for the online store. And I spy with my little eye a Super Bells. This is Lemon Slice. Look at that, y'all. So we've already got a bloom on that one. And then next door, we have got Black Currant Punch. We've got a bloom on her. I see some Coral Sun that is blooming. They are just starting. Our sweet little friends, they come to us in great condition. We pot them up. They are all in these grande containers. So when you order from us online, and if you come shopping here at the nursery, the vast majority of our annuals are going to be what we call this grande size cup. It's a little bit smaller than a quart size cup, but we'll have beautiful roots coming out the bottom in no time. This is the brand new Supertunia Tiara Blue. So nice, tight, compact growth on that. We did go ahead and separate these plants kind of by genre and trying to keep things organized. So for right now, like these are Super Bells. These are traditional, like regular Supertunias. Not that there's anything regular about a Supertunia, but these are the regular ones like Bermuda Beach, the Tiara Pink, the Hoopla Vivid Orchid, that kind of thing. Saffron Finch, of course. And then we move into like the mini vistas, and you can see all of our tags here. So it's marking when it comes time to pull these orders, they'll be really easy to find. So then we have the mini vistas, and then we go into the vistas over here. So all these sweet little babies are here and ready to go. We're just waiting on some heat, waiting on some fertilizer, and a little thing called time so that their roots get nice and happy and can grow. So like I said, these are for the online store. And then what's coming today is going to be a combination of restocking the online store, and then of course preparing for the garden center. The garden center greenhouse is already full. It is nice and ready to go with little babies just like this, and some perennials that are in there that are growing. So that's very exciting as far as all of that goes. So we constantly are bringing in new fresh product so that we can have a great supply for you. These are the new dahlias. So you got the Virtuoso Classy Carmine, which is a beautiful red, the Pinkerific, the lavender, that's Sunstar Lavender, the Dayglow Yellow. This is going to be here in the middle. Now, I forgot to tell you, first of all, it's Valentine's Day, right? So happy Valentine's Day. You are loved and you are cherished, and we are so grateful that you are part of the Creekside family. With that, speaking of online and the fact that it is Valentine's, we are running a special. It has been running for a couple of days. It ends tonight at 11:59. So on February the 14th at 11:59, it ends. So what is the special? So on the online store, all of your red, your pink, and your white annuals are 15% off. So you can just go ahead. These are pre-orders. We're not ready to ship them yet. One, the plants are not ready. Two, the weather is not ready. So this will be a pre-order. We will ship them to you when it is appropriate for your growing zone. So once you have passed your last frost date, then that is when we will begin shipping these to you. If you want to look at the if you want to look at the details for the shipping, I will leave all that information is on our website, where we give you estimated ship dates where we begin shipping for your zone. So hang on, look who's here. There's Lenny in the favorite truck. This is the third time Lenny's been here already. He's come basically every other week with beautiful Proven Winter Annuals all the way from Loudon, New Hampshire. So for those of you that maybe are not familiar with how Proven Winters works, so there are 2 greenhouses that all of your Proven Annuals, this is where they originate. So it is either Pleasant View Gardens in Loudon, New Hampshire, which we have been ordering from them for years. We've been up there multiple times, done some tours up there, stunning. So you have that. And then you have 4-star greenhouses in Michigan, just right outside of Detroit. We've been there too. We order from them as well. But you get these gorgeous, every single Proven Winter Annual is going to originate from one of those 2 houses. From there, then they get sent out to growers like us so that we can grow them for you and then send them out to garden centers, or with them at your own garden center or online or whatever the case may be. So what we're going to do is get everybody, round up the troops and get ready and get these 20,000 annuals out of the truck and into the nice warm greenhouse, because it's, you see, it's chilly today. All righty, my friends. So we got Lenny got all pulled back in here. So fantastic driver, even though the ground is absolutely saturated. He got whipped around. So they back up, pull up to the sidewalk here. I think he can get like 3 racks on to the lift gate. So he brings out 2 or 3 racks, and then down they go. So we've got some verbenas here. We've got, oh my goodness, we've got coffee cups. We've got begonias. We've got some of the new begonias. We've got super bells up there. And then of course, all the tags. So when they come to us, they're all sorted by purchase orders, because we have 2 purchase orders. One will be for the retail greenhouse, and then one will be for the online store. So we keep them all separated, because when we place those orders, we want to know like who's going where. Yes, there is some flexibility that we could go between the houses, between retail and online, but for the most part, we try to keep online separate from the garden center. Otherwise, it is an absolute like logistical nightmare. So one of the things we learned early on is to keep the inventory separate. So there we go. And then we will follow this baby in here. This is why we have, of course, the sidewalks right here. So down they go. Something as simple as, because we're gonna unload here to the left of the sidewalk, is that when the racks come in, we want the names of the plant to be on the left-hand side of the tray. So that's what we're doing. And then Amber has the clipboard, and we just double check to make sure that we have everything that we need. So like this is, look at this. This is the new begonia. This is the Space Age. Look at that, Space Age Europa. Oh, so pretty. And then of course, lots of coffee cups, tons of coffee cups. Y'all love your coffee cups as much as we do. And then we've got lantana, and we come in here into the coleus land, tons and tons of coleus. I see some of the campfire marshmallow, all sorts of cute little patooties. So these little guys, for example, this is Suncredible Yellow. So if you know how big Suncredible Yellow gets, it'll be like a 4x4. So this is how we get the plants, and these are little, what we call liners. And so they come to us this size. Basically, I tell people it's like the size of your thumb, right? So it's the size of your thumb. Pot them up in those grande containers and then watch those babies grow, and they will get nice and big. And this will turn into basically a 4x4 plant for us here in the South by the end of the season. We've got your petunias. So this is Hoopla Vivid Orchid. Look at that. See, now this is what we call just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Look how those roots go all the way down, nice and tight, beautiful foliage on it, absolutely beautiful, healthy plants right here. So we adore that. And then of course your lantana. Who is this? Oh, lemon tart, one of my favorites. And then you got lemon tart. Look at that. Great lantana. So, all right, what I'm gonna do is hop off of here so that we can get everybody sorted. The racks just keep coming. Get everybody sorted and unloaded and checked off the list. Sweet potato vines. Oh my goodness, y'all. So many great things. Okay, all right, I gotta get to work. All right, my friends, so we got the truck unloaded. We've got everybody laid out. Just gonna kind of walk you through just really quickly, just kind of showing you just generally what they look like, right? And then there was a very special delivery on that truck with some very exciting plants. I am going to kind of show them to you here in just a second. Obviously, like I said earlier, we keep them separate, right? We keep these two purchase orders separate. Right here we have for the online store. This is just restocking the online store. Amber said there was about not quite 8,000 of this for the online store. I don't think there's really anything like new per se that we don't already have, because we already have a good bit of it, but this is just restocks, right? So we always try to keep that fresh inventory. Here, this is petunia land, all right here. We can tell these are petunias because they have those nice, big, huge, fat leaves. So once you start handling these plants as much as we do, you can just basically look at the plant and kind of tell what species it is. So we know that these are petunias. Then we have got, obviously, sweet potato vine. That's an easy one to take care of. So we know we've got the sweet potato vine there. And then I always love seeing the coleus laid out because it just looks like this beautiful like patchwork quilt. So all sorts of different kinds of coleus to restock. And then the begonias, of course we love begonias, both the surefires and the double ups because they can do sun or shade. So they're in there. Like we said, we saw the sweet little campfire marshmallows. I'm telling you, this is such a great little plant. Love that. And then these are all the tags for both of the purchase orders. So they kind of stick them in these trays for us, and y'all, there's a lot of tags. Well, there's 20,000 in there. So we've got all the tags, and then of course that's what we will do here in the next coming days, is because it just makes it so efficient, we have an order in which we pot, especially the online plants, because those pots, remember, are already barcoded. So Amber will say, okay, we're going to start with this plant, and we go in a certain order. So they will have all of the pots with the barcodes behind the potting machine ready to go, and we know exactly what order to go in. So you have to be super, super organized and like very, very attentive to all of those details, because you don't want to put, say, like a begonia in a lantana pot, right? You got to make sure that the right plant is in the right pot with the right barcode. So we'll do those first. And then for the garden center, this year we're not barcoding the annuals. We're going to have barcodes for the perennials and the shrubs and all the other things. But for right now, we're going to skip this year putting barcodes on the retail garden center, mainly because we're concerned about how that checkout process will go, and we want to be as quick and as efficient as possible and not hold people up. So once we get a year under our belt doing all the perennials and the shrubs and all those things, maybe next year we'll go ahead and put barcodes on the annuals. And the reason that you would want to have barcodes on all the plants is, one, for the customer, because we have a rewards program for the customers, and you can create these free accounts So when you check out, whether it's online or at the garden center, like you can look at your orders and you will know, oh, okay, well this year I bought 10 bubble gums and 2 saffron finches. Well, next year, you know, I need more saffron finches, so let's bump it up to 5. So you'll have an itemized exactly of what every purchase was at the garden center. So it helps the customer. And then 2, it helps us because we can run reports. We can look and go back. So when we're trying to order and plan for the next year, we can look and go, oh my gosh, we sold, you know, 2,000 bubble gums. And you don't say, okay, I sold 2,000 bubble gums during the entire season. I sold 2,000 bubble gums in the first month, and then we ran out. So if we had more, then we could keep, you know, having those come back in. So it's all about the analytics and the reports and really analyzing your sales and understanding that so that you can really give the people what they want. So that would be the benefit. Then I believe these are all verbenas. Let's see how this one line right here is nice and long. That's all pink cashmere. Y'all, we have got so many, probably thousands of plants of pink cashmere this year. It is insane. And so then we have a nice distinct line between here and here. This is where we start the retail garden center inventory, and it just goes all the way through. We are going to have, of course, the coffee cups. People love them some coffee cups. This is a new Rex begonia that we're going to offer at the garden center this year. It's one of the new intros from Proven Winners. This is the Space Age Europa. It is a Rex begonia, so it just gives you that beautiful foliage for your shade garden. So we're trying that this year at the garden center to see how people receive that. And then super bells, super petunias, begonias in here, just so many incredible plants, right? And then see look at that. Is that not just gorgeous, seeing all that coleus right there? I'm telling you, it is a beautiful sight. And then these little guys, they almost have maybe like a little bit of a bluish hue to them right here. Those are the new Kufias. So there's the vivid violet, there's the frosted violets, the richly red. So that's what those are right in there. Lots of the double impatiens, tons of those. They're all through here. And then of course the sweet potato vines. They remind me of the coleus, having lots of beautiful color on there. And then pink cashmere. So this whole line right here is pink cashmere. All your salvias are in there. So lots of fun there. Now, as you know, we have a great relationship with our friends at Proven Winners, and for quite a few years now, they send us the new intros for the next year. So like last year, I was able to grow the new introductions that are available this year. So like those Kufias we were talking about, that's a new introduction this year. I got it last year and I was able to grow it. So on this delivery of all of our plants was the special delivery, and I'm going to stay right here because it's still kind of a little hush-hush secret. So this section right here, not these guys, those are perennials, but there's 3 trays right here of the 2026 new annual introductions. So there they are. Once we get them all potted up, get some growth on them, get some more information from our friends at Proven Winners, then obviously we will share those with you. Some really fun ones that I think you're going to be very excited about. There is something for everyone in there. Sometimes I feel like there's some years that are very heavy, like in a certain genre. Maybe there's a bunch of new Kufias or a bunch of new super petunias, or there's a bunch of lantanas. And so this year, I think there's a nice range of different types of plants. So it's not really heavily focused in one area versus the other. Something for sun, something for shade, something for heat, something for cold, cooler temperatures. So very, very fun on that. It is absolutely raining cats and dogs right now. So I am going to put the camera up for a second, and then we're going to run up to the other greenhouse and let's look at the perennials that came. I believe that was last week that they came. We'll show you those because those are still waiting to be potted up. It is production season here at Creekside. All right, so behind me, you see we have quite the selection of perennials that will get potted up here in the coming days. Have a collection of them. I believe some of these are from, there's a couple from Terra Nova, and then a bunch of them are from our friends at Walter's Gardens. So there is a great assortment up here. I thought it would be fun to show you because sometimes we will get perennials that have already, they're awake, right? And so you've got some green growth on them. You can absolutely see the plant, not a problem. And then you also get plants at this time because it is February. Then these arrived, last week. So arriving in February, coming from Michigan. They're still dormant, so they're asleep. They may look like there is nothing there. It may look completely empty, but they're just dormant. I tell people they're not dead, they're dormant, they're sleeping. So they have been in this greenhouse, and we do have the heat on, so I will show you some of those that are waking up. These are the ones, I'm pretty sure this is from Terra Nova. So really fun, the Fatsia. This is the spider's web. So those of you that have those shade gardens, this is such a great, fun plant. Get some nice size to it. And see if I can, there we go, pop it out that way. Show you the difference, right? So you can see the size difference between this and then that annual that I had, right? So nice, substantial size to it. This may be a 72 count tray. So we will get all these potted up. We've got some more pulmonaria. I'm telling you, if you have a shade garden and you know pulmonaria is to love pulmonaria. And this is raspberry splash. And then we've got some echinacea here. So echinacea, of course, loves it nice and hot. So you can see that they are still nice and small, very much alive, but they're small because it is clearly not hot. Then this is what we're talking about. Coming over here, we have some ferns that arrived dormant. So you may look at it initially and go, okay, well, how do you know if they're alive or not? The best way to do it is either to get them potted up and or just put them in a greenhouse with a little bit of heat. Now this floor is quite cool. So our floors are not heated, but these are ferns, and you can see, do you see that little bit of green? So we've got green here, then you come over here and we've got green popping up. So they're starting to wake up, right? I believe these are the ostrich ferns. So you can see that little bit of green just popping up. That is a beautiful thing for a grower to see. Different plants will, even within the same species. So we have ferns here. Here we have Lady in Red, one of my all-time favorite ferns, but I don't really see any growth on her yet. And that's all right. That just simply means that she's later to come up. So we have them in these nice, big cell counts. There we go, right? So depending on how you want to order it, depends on how big your root system is. Obviously, the bigger the root system, the bigger the plant is going to be initially. So here you have that Lady in Red, and then this is Lady in Red as well. So this is probably a 72 here. So it's nice and small. This would be better for like the online store, and then this would probably be for retail. So you can see the size difference in that. Obviously, this is going to finish out in a gallon before this will. We'll probably put these in gallons. These maybe go in quarts. So there you go on that. The Brunnera has definitely woken up. So we've got Brunnera, we've got bleeding hearts. They're still asleep. You've got that Roseanne geranium, that classic perennial geranium. She too is waking up. Beautiful thing. We have got Boom Chocolata, yet another geranium. This is, of course, is from Proven Winners. Nice dark foliage on that. And again, this would be for online, and then that would be for retail because of the size difference there. But just kind of coming through and looking a little bit, these would be the new Stokes asters. We've got Shasta daisies. You've got Nephophias, right? So Nephophias are red hot pokers. This is the orange blaze. Yep, so you can see what that looks like. You plop that down into a quart or a gallon, depending on what you're going to be doing with it. And there you go. So there's orange blaze, solar flare, hot and cold. We've got the chartreuse on the loose. We've got gold heart. Bleeding heart is waking up. Ooh, the Delospermas, the ice plants. So these are such great little plants. Love those. So lots and lots of options for you. You've got Coreopsis. Lots of pretty growth on that coreopsis. And so anyway, that's just kind of an idea for you to see what it looks like when these plants come to us, whether they are annuals, whether they're perennials. We don't have any of the shrubs right now. Those are going to be quart-sized containers as well. So lots of things happening here. It is definitely go time. It is production time. With the garden center opening on Saturday, this is where we really kind of start to have to divide and conquer. And so one day may be heavily focused on production, like today is pouring down rain. Not much we can do out in the gardens, not much we can do at the garden center, but we can do it at production. So everybody's really focused on production. Then Thursday and Friday of this week are going to be sunny and warm. So then everybody's going to kind of halt on production. Everybody's going to go down to the garden center and work really hard to get the garden center ready for opening day on Saturday. And that's just because of the weather, right? I mean, it's just crazy. And so we're at the mercy of the weather sometimes this year, at this time of year, really, I guess all the time. And so we just do what we can when we can, and it is what it is. Do not forget about the Valentine's special. There is a code. I'll have it for you down there, but it's all of the red, white, and pink annuals are 15% off. And that goes through midnight, well, 11:59 tonight on February the 14th. So I will have that code for you. Use that code, put those flowers in your shopping cart, put in the code, you get 15% off the red, white, and the pink. As always, we so appreciate you. Y'all have a great day. Happy Valentine's Day. We love you. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.